Well, as we all know, we're still celebrating the feast of Easter. And we all know and understand that that's a great feast of our faith as Christian people. The Feast of Easter, as you guys know, helps us to understand how our faith guides us, how our faith really shows us the way for happiness in our lives. You know, all of us are faced from time to time in making choices. And it seems to me that everything that happens to us is the result of choices we make. For example, you choose to act or to procrastinate, to believe or to doubt, to help or to hinder, and to succeed or to fail. You see, folks, choices are really, I guess you could say, the game plan for a good life. And I guess I learned that myself a long, long time ago. Given my background, I know that I have been blessed in so many, many ways. And something happened to me when I was very young. And I guess I didn't realize for a long time what all of that meant. But my mom and dad and I were basically homeless. I guess we could say we were dirt poor. We lost our home. And so the three of us moved in with my grandparents, my mom's mom and dad. And we lived in a very small little house on the near east side of Indianapolis. And I just might add that we lived right next door to Mr. Weisenbach's grandparents. Anyway, I reflected on that quite a bit in my life. But as I look back, you know, there were many, many people who helped me to get where I am today. I can tell you guys I'm very, very happy that I'm getting ready to celebrate 47 years as a priest. And just in a short time, I'll be 73 years old. So I'm getting me an old booger. But you know, the strategy that I learned a long time ago was to try my very best to have a positive attitude about myself, to have a positive attitude about other people, and then most importantly, I think, and my mom taught me this, to give myself to Jesus. And believe me, guys, I decided to do that long, long before I ever thought about being a priest. And by the way, I tried to get that idea out of my mind a lot of times when I was younger, particularly in high school. I didn't even want to think about that. But I think that much of that thinking is one of the ideas that I think we can get from our gospel today. Here was a little boy with just 5 little loaves of bread and a couple of fish. And what he did was, he gave whatever he had, insignificant as what it might seem, you know. Just 5 little barley loaves are little bitty things, you know. 5 little barley loaves and a couple of dried fish. And so that little guy gave that to Jesus. He gave what he had. As one of the apostles said, there is a kid here He's got 5 barley loaves and a couple of fish. And Jesus said, let me have them. And great things happened. He gave what he had, guys. He gave what he had to Jesus. And great things happened. In that instance, as you know, as John recorded for us, Jesus fed a large number of people. And guys, I can assure you that if you give yourself to Jesus, if you try your very best, if you have a good attitude, if you include prayer, great things will happen in your lives. I really think that the attitude that we choose, the attitude that we choose to assume toward life and everything it brings will determine whether or not we reach our aspirations. I really think that what you are capable of achieving, what you are capable of achieving is determined by your talent and ability, right? And what you attempt to do is determined by your motivation. And how well you do something, that's determined by your attitude. Your attitude. And I can only tell you this, guys, that I'm so glad and happy that I came to understand that when I was probably in the later years of high school, probably through my senior year, really, and my freshman and sophomore year of college. I finally figured it out, you know. But there was a heck of a lot of people who helped me to understand that. And they helped me to understand that praying every day is extremely important. And I can tell you this, without a doubt, guys, if you give yourselves to Jesus, it's like that little guy did with just 5 barley loaves and a couple of fish. Daggone it, that's all he had. But if you give yourself to Jesus, if you try your very best, if you pray every day, wonderful things will happen in your life. You truly will be a very happy and successful person. I can guarantee you that. I've been through it. God bless you.